Welcome back to TTS Daily with me, Yi. A manhunt is underway in Bangkok, the land of smiles, Thailand, for a 32-year-old Singaporean man named Daniel. His girlfriend, 30 years old Pilas, was found dead in a hotel room on March 26, 2025, as reported by Thai media. Her unclothed body was wrapped in a blanket and bedsheet with visible head wounds and blood. Her branded handbag and watch were also missing as per friends, and friends filed a police report after losing contact with her since March 24th evening. The hotel room door was unlocked, air conditioner on, and her body was found in the bathroom, wrapped in a blanket and bedsheet. Pilas had reportedly faced regular arguments and physical abuse from Daniel, as per a friend, and CCTV footage shows Daniel entering the room with Pilas on March 23rd and leaving alone with luggage on March 25th. Thai police are seeking Daniel for questioning regarding her death, and police investigations are on the way. Our next story, trigger warning. We've covered many stories on scams which led to people losing money, but this scam story led to someone losing their life. Li Wen, a 20-year-old Chinese student, arrived in Malaysia on March 18, 2025 to pursue her studies. However, on March 18, she was contacted by scammers posing as a Malaysian communications bureau, alleging a phone number in her name was linked to fraud in China. You can see from this chat log in Chinese, it seems that she might have handed over access to an account made by her to a third party, and that was the scammer's attack point, okay? A second scammer, Tu Feng, posing as a Shanghai police officer, accused her of murder and being a major suspect in a criminal group, claiming she fled to Malaysia to evade justice. As you can see from here again from the chat log, Lee just mentioned that she just handed over a supposed an account made by her to a third party just to make some extra income, and she didn't know anything else, okay? Lee was pressured to pay ringgit 156,000, about 47,000 Singapore dollars, to prove her innocence under threat of arrest and imprisonment by Chinese police. She then received a fraudulent notice she was under bail pending trial and had to report her movements. Look at this fake letter with all the fake stamp. So on March 22nd, Li Wen vaguely asked her parents about their savings and sent a handwritten note requesting money for an emergency. Her mother did not send it due to lack of clarity. Lee then became uncontactable after March 22nd, and her body was later found at the base of her apartment in Kuala Lumpur, suggesting she fell to her death. Lee's parents flew to Malaysia after friends raised concern, discovered the scam via her phone, and attributed her death to unbearable mental pressure and guilt from the scam. Lee's parents plan to repatriate her body to China and hoped Malaysian police investigate her death. The penalty for scammers has to be raised. Scammers are targeting people who don't know the law better, piling claims on them, making them succumb to immense mental pressure, and ultimately, besides losing money, people are now losing their lives. Our next story, theft incidents on Singapore-bound flights are on the rise. Let me just say it right now, don't keep any valuables in the overhead compartment anymore, okay? Do not leave any valuables or personal belongings in your overhead compartment. Keep all cash, credit cards, everything on your personal body, okay? Case number 1. A 30-year-old Indonesian man allegedly stole a debit card from a fellow passenger on a Singapore-bound flight, okay? The victim's card was in her wallet, inside her handbag, stored in the overhead compartment. Stop doing that. And it was shared with the suspect. The suspect actually know the victim, okay? And the suspect used a stolen card at Changi Airport retail outlets, and the victim received transaction alerts via banking app and reported to police at 4:45 AM. The airport police identified and arrested the man within an hour. The man will have a court appearance on March 27, 2025 and face up to 13 years in jail and a fine if convicted. And the second incident involved 51-year-old Chang Kun, who allegedly stole a credit card, $200 and ringgit $100 from a passenger's bag on a Kuala Lumpur, Singapore-bound Scoot flight on March 17, 2005. And the items were taken from, you guessed it, the overhead compartment bag. So stop leaving your valuables in the overhead compartment bag. He is now charged with theft, pleaded not guilty and represent himself. Pre-trial conference will start on March 27, 2025 and he faces up to 3 years in jail, a fine or both if convicted. Once again, do not leave your valuables, personal belongings in the overhead compartment. Keep them on your body at all times, okay? This just in Singapore, Madam Ng, karaoke bar owner, and her husband were assaulted by 2 intoxicated men in the early hours of March 25, 2025 at Cuppage, Plaza, Singapore, just as they were about to head home. The altercation began when the couple bumped into a group 2 men, 2 women at a lift. One man tried whispering to Ng's husband, who told him to back off, escalating tensions. The man then taunted and pushed Ng's husband after he rebuffed their drunken behaviour. Ng was assaulted when she intervened to separate her husband from the man. The assailants punched Ng, pulled out a chunk of her hair and slammed her face onto the ground. The assault finally stopped after the assailant's bosses stepped in. An employee had to forcibly free Ng from a man gripping her hair. Ng was hospitalized for 1 night with facial and leg bruises and lost a chunk of hair, while her husband was bruised and breathless but not hospitalized. Ng employees were also reportedly assaulted. A 41-year-old Chinese national was arrested for public nuisance and is assisting with investigations for voluntarily causing hurt. Police were alerted at 3 a.m. on March 25th, and a 33-year-old man and a 28-year-old woman was taken to hospital conscious. The arrested suspect was also hospitalized conscious. Police investigations are currently ongoing. And for our last story of the day, since HaidiLao made rounds about the passing water incident in China, now we have another viral video on HaidiLao about a trainee manager. So Rong Hui, a trainee manager at HaidiLao's Plaza Singapore outlet, gained attention after revealing in a video that he earns about, listen to this, Singapore $10,000 monthly after 6 years with the company as a trainee manager, okay? Rong Hui shared details about his daily responsibilities and the life of a HaidiLao employee in the video, but mainly we're most concerned with his 10,000 Singapore dollars monthly salary. And take note, Rong Hui is a trainee manager working under a store manager. So now we all want to know, how much does the store manager take home if the trainee manager takes home 10,000 Singapore dollars monthly? Despite Singapore's lack of a tipping norm, Rong Hui also receives tips and employees get to keep fully, with his highest tip being Singapore $1,000. But we're not concerned over his tips, we're more concerned over his monthly 10,000 Singapore dollars salary, okay? And HaidiLao has responded saying that Rong Hui's $10,000 Singapore monthly salary is an exception, not typical at all, due to factors like store location, his specialized role, and long working hours. And now I'm wondering, what do the other trainee managers in HaidiLao Singapore are getting? The company emphasized that pay reflects variables like role and effort, but this case isn't representative of average earnings. We are all very curious right now. HaidiLao highlighted its commitment to competitive pay and growth opportunities, rewarding dedication and hard work. Wow.